Hi, my name is Rebekah Radtke, and I'm applying for a position as a camp counselor for the 2014 Summer Impact Day camps at the Christian Family Center. During this video, I will be answering 5 different questions, and I hope that by the end of it, you just get a better grasp of who I am and why my passion for children and my passion for ministry combined make me an incredible candidate for this position. So let's get started. The first question was, what position am I applying for and why? I'm applying to be a camp counselor because I've always believed that this is a wonderful ministry that the center has offered to all these different families in the Lenawee County area. It's such a great opportunity for parents. And I've always wanted to apply to be a counselor here, but I never took the opportunity to do so. But then I was given an opportunity last summer, and I am so ridiculously thankful for it. I got to come as an interim counselor for the last 2 weeks of camp when most counselors had to go back to school for classes. And after those 2 weeks, I was completely hooked. I fell in love with this job, and I could not imagine getting to spend an entire summer, and I wanted it more than anything to spend an entire summer, and I wanted to expand my 2 weeks almost. But at the end of the 2 weeks, I purposed in my heart that I would do whatever it took to come back as a permanent counselor, and this is me doing that. I loved working with this ministry last year, and now I just want to do it again. So the next question was, if I was a superhero, which would I be? That would definitely be Batman! Yes, I would be Batman. Batman has been my favorite superhero since I was a little girl, and when I was little, at first it was just for things like, oh, he's really cool, he's got the Batmobile, he's got Alfred, he's got Robin, he's got a mansion, he's cool. But then when I got older, I started to think about the fact that Batman was not born super. Batman chose to be a superhero. He chose to use his resources to become a servant to the people in his city. And so that encouraged me because just like Batman uses his resources to be a servant to Gotham City, I want to use my blessings as a Christian, the blessings that God has given me, to be a servant for the kingdom of God. So, and then again, I really want to drive the Batmobile. Anyways, moving on, the next question is, what was my best experience working with kids and my worst experience working with kids? My worst experience was the time when I once was working in the toddler room at Faith Baptist Church, and one morning I had to witness a little boy bite a little girl. And I am no stranger to boo-boos, but I had never witnessed a child have pain inflicted upon them. So my heart broke the moment that I saw it because this little girl was just traumatized by it, and the little boy wasn't fully aware that what he had done was wrong. So I instantly sprung into action. I got to his level and I looked at him and I said, "No." And he knew what I meant, and he tried to apologize, but I redirected him to other toys and other games because I knew that his presence at that point was not helping the situation, and she was still really upset. And then I was able to get my attention back to her and love her up and make sure she was okay and distract her with other toys and games so that way she could calm down, she could catch her breath, and she could just focus on playing rather than on the fact that she had gotten bitten. So the situation ended up being okay, but my heart broke when I saw her get bitten. My best experience, this one was actually the hardest question for me to answer because I have so many best experiences. That's one of the joys of working with kids is I constantly have these new best experiences. But if I had to pick one that's been sticking out in my heart lately, last year I had a little girl ask me to watch her go down the water slide in the pool at Impact. And I was more than happy to do this for her because she wasn't really asking for much, and even though I couldn't really see her going down the slide, the fact that I watched her walk up the steps and then be spouted out at the bottom meant so much to her. This girl barely knew me. I had only been working for 2 days, but my attention was a blessing to her. And I was just more than happy to give her my attention. And it blessed me personally to just know that I could make this little girl's 5 minutes. I could just make them for her if I just gave her my attention. And I was more than happy to give it to her, and I will admit it was the best when she got down and she looked at me and she's like, "Did you see me? Did you see me?" And that was just the best. I love it, and I am just so excited for many more good experiences to come. The next question, of course, is why am I a good fit for this position? And I'll tell you that I have so much experience working with kids. I am no stranger to working with kids. I've been working with them for 7 years at various different ministries. I've worked with Faith Baptist for the past 7 years, and the ages that I've worked with have varied between newborns all the way up to kindergartners. And so I have all that experience, but I've also had experience working with teenagers for the last 2 years. So I've been working in various ministries for as long as I can remember. Also, I'm very theatrical, I'm very bubbly, so I've always been able to work with kids because I have never worried about looking ridiculous. To me, there is no such thing as looking ridiculous when you work with children. So I've always been able to entertain kids and to have fun with them and to give them a good time purely just by being myself. So there's that. And then the fact that I worked with this camp for 2 weeks last year, even though 2 weeks is such a short time compared to a whole summer or my 7 years, I feel like it really prepped me to come back this next summer. So I feel like now that I've had a taste of it, I know what I'm getting myself into. So I can promise you that I will give it my all. I will pour my heart into this ministry. I will completely sow myself into it. And I will always come with as much energy and as much love and affection and encouragement and support as I possibly can every single day. Now, the last reason is probably the most important of all. I have incredible socks. You don't believe me? Ooh, 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 ooh. Example time. Yes. My socks are tuxedos. I have fancy feet, and that is why I am a good fit for this team. No, I'm kidding. But it is really cool. I have awesome socks. Anyways, moving on. The last question was, I was given a scenario. I have a green balloon, blue marker, silver glitter, a water bottle, and a stuffed animal, and I have to somehow educate, entertain, and love on 30 kids for 30 minutes. So, I made a couple of games, and I think you're going to like them. I didn't really have a green balloon, so we're going to substitute it with a yellow one. But see, I used my blue marker, and I used my yellow balloon, and I drew Jeffrey! This game is called Complimentary Jeffrey, and we all remember the game where we would hit the balloon up and we try to keep it off of the floor. And just like we bounce the balloon up in the air, what we need to do with each other is we need to uplift each other on a regular basis. So in Complimentary Jeffrey, I grouped the kids together and we tried to keep Jeffrey off of the floor. But every single time someone bounces Jeffrey up in the air, they have to look at someone nearby them and they have to compliment them somehow, uplift them somehow, or encourage them. Like, so-and-so, you did really great in basketball today, or I really like your hair bow, or your glasses are really cool. Just something simple to encourage those around you. And the game, of course, would end when either Jeffrey hits the floor or the 30 minutes is up, if we were to even be able to take 30 minutes doing that. But we would then move on to my next game if the 30 minutes is not up, and that is Thankfulness Glitter. I used my glitter and I poured it into this water bottle to make a little shaker. And I grouped the kids together and put them in a circle, and we take turns, and whoever had my shaker would shake it for 3 seconds And then before the glitter settles in the bottle, they'd have to say as many things as they could think of that they are thankful for. And then we would just go and we'd each take a turn and we'd see how high we could get. How many things can we say that we're thankful for in just that short time until the glitter is settled in the water bottle? And then during any spare time, if there is any spare time at all, I would sit my stuffed animal, Ickis, which my brother Noah Radtke made for me back many moons ago, like 7 years ago. And I would sit Ickis in a chair and I would use my theatrical abilities to paint them the best pictures of Ickis. And not physical pictures, because I don't have paint apparently in this situation, but I would paint them mental pictures. I would tell them the biggest stories that I possibly could of Ickis's many adventures, how he once rode a grizzly bear into New York City and they saw a Broadway show, or how he sailed the seven seas on a little tiny boat with his best friend that was a waffle. Anyways, they'd be just as silly, just as theatrical, as long as I kept the kids entertained and just sewed into them more and more. So that's everything for you. Um, I just thank you so much for your time and thank you so much for just considering me. It's been such a blessing to pour what I could already into this ministry. Those last 2 weeks, I never really thanked anybody, I don't think officially, but thank you for my 2 weeks last summer. And I really would love to work at this camp for this entire summer. It would be an incredible way to spend a whole summer. I can't think of a better way to spend my summer, to be quite honest with you. And I will be keeping you definitely in my prayers. I know that you have some big decisions to make, and I will definitely be praying that God gives you peace and direction as to where to go with your hirings, and that you just have a wonderful summer. I cannot wait to hear from you. Thank you so much. Bye.